Okay, so I read the statement that the South African Football Players Union put out. So the South African Football Players Union came out and said that Junior Khanye has to apologize to some of the players for some of the things he's saying. They said in their statement that he says some very mean-spirited things that are not part of what analysis is meant to be, and that the things he's saying may have effects on the players, may have effects on their lives, may have effects because of the size of his platform on how the public views these players. And on the one hand, I understand it. I get it. I get why they're protecting the players. These players live crazy lives. These players have so much pressure. These players have so many challenges. They have to do so much in the public eye that adding on top of that, the social media aspect of it, adding on top of that, the commentator, the analyst aspect of it, and having that be unregulated must be so tough on the players for them to have to deal with. So I get it. I understand why SAFPU is saying what they're saying. But there's a couple of things I don't understand. I don't understand how, in a statement defending players for public words said on public platforms by people with a lot of authority, you would say in the thing that he's saying this because of a failed career. I don't understand why in a public platform with a public statement made by a platform, an entity that has so much power, that you'd speak about being unintelligent analysis or being wrong analysis. There was a thing said by the SG after. Because for me, it feels like you're doing the exact same thing that you are speaking about in your letter. It feels like fire is fighting fire, fire is fighting fire. And everything burns when that happens. I don't understand why there's a push for regulation and a push for people to learn how to do proper analysis. Because in the same vein that the players worked and they stood out and they do everything in their lives in order to live these great lives, in order to play this football that we watch, Abo Junior did the same thing. Abo Nkululeko built what they built. And maybe the question you should be asking is, why do they resonate with the greater public? Why does Junior Khanye have such a big voice? Why would people rather listen to Junior, rather listen to people like me, Abo Pep, rather listen to those type of people, instead of listening to what you deem to be regulated and proper? Maybe there needs to be a little bit of a look into, or an internal look into why those things are not resonating. But the thing that gets me the most about this whole thing is that, guys, the truth is that you are a public figure. As a player, you are a public figure. A public figure is somebody who rises to fame, to notoriety, to have authority, to be famous. Or for voluntarily doing something. You voluntarily started playing football. Football took you to a place where now you are a well-known person across. And part of that is that you have to deal with the negative that comes with that. You deal with immense challenges, but also you live an extraordinary life. You get to do something that 1 or 2% of people will get to do. Your salaries, your families, your cars, everything are paid for. From the same passion, from the same fans from the outside. And unfortunately, in the real world, you cannot control what 1 million people are going to think of you when you are out in public. And if you believe that it's different, guys, I'm a content creator. I do this for a living. Take a look through my comments. It's the reality of putting yourself out. I knew the moment I put my opinions out into the world, I lose control of how the world is going to look at me. I lose control of what the world is going to say. And that privilege of getting the views and the followings and brands wanting to work with me and stuff, whatever, and me to be able to feed my family, to pay my rents, to pay the school fees and do all of those things. Part of what comes with that is going to be the negative part. Guys, some people will love you because they agree with what you're saying. Some people will love you because they love you. Some people will come in and criticize and disagree with you. And some people will just do it just to see if they can get a rise out of you. That is just the truth of what happens. I said the same thing when Granit Xhaka threw down his thing and said he's getting all types of messages from fans. Now, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying that it's real. When Granit Xhaka was getting booed and he threw that jersey down, you cannot, on the one hand, be a leader of one of the biggest franchises in the world, the biggest thing in the world, with hundreds of millions of fans across the world who contribute towards your salary, your whatever. When your salary comes in, you're not minusing all the negative things that people said. When the kids are being bought, you're not minusing the bad things that people are saying. There was a famous actor who said, I can't walk my family down the red carpet at events that people dream of going to and get recognition and brand deals and fame that people can only dream of, and have opportunities that people can only dream of, but then also be mad at the paparazzi. You cannot have the one without the other, and that's part of being a public figure. And that maybe the focus of these talks should be, guys, how do we make this better? How do we make sure that the players have the tools to not be affected by all of these things? How do we teach players what fame is? How do we teach players how to block things out? Guys, Tina, we get negative comments all the time. Sometimes you'll sit for an hour thinking about something somebody said. But it's my job to firstly understand that I'm in public, but then number two, to create the security measures to make sure that I don't interact with all of the things that are coming into me. Or maybe it's that Tinabanye, this whole thing that's happening now with the comments and everything is later in life, but I have to understand that and I have to put safeguards. I've got a lot of measures that stop me from spiraling, or hopefully will stop me from spiraling. SAFPU should be focused on making sure that their players have that. Because let me tell you what my biggest problem with what SAFPU did is. My biggest problem with SAFPU did is that you know deep down Junior Khanye's name, and whatever context you put it into, but Junior Khanye's name in speaking about the thing that you're speaking about made this thing blow up. You know that highlighting that is what made everything blow up and have everybody talking. And what frustrates me about this is that you are putting energy into something you deem to be negative. And it's a cultural thing where we take the negative things and, well, things we think are negative, and we put them into the family groups, and we put them into our conversations, and we put them into all of the stuff, and we're so angry that we must react and we want to say this, and we end up growing the thing that we're speaking about. Right now, I leave the statement by SAFPU. If I did not know who Junior Khanye is, I wake up and I go, I want to go see, man. What's happening that side? I need to go and watch and dissect and absorb and look at that thing. And that's another view. That's another comment. That's another engagement. That's another this. That's another that. For something that you deem to be wrong, instead of which, I think the SG said that they've taught players, former players, how to analyze. Instead of taking that energy and telling us who to listen to, highlighting the people that you believe are good analysts, highlighting the people you believe are respectful and all of that. Instead of building the studios, the infrastructure, sharing the people that you believe are correct, you ride this statement. You ride this Junior Khanye wave. And again, I leave not knowing what to do when I leave here. There are so many names of people. Bakhona bo Pep, bakhona bo Football Khalifang, bakhona bo Abobobo, bakhona abo Temziz, bakhona abo Lihle Chafta, bakhona abo Njabulo Sportscaster, bakhona abo Siswendi, bakhona. There's so many people that you could be highlighting right now. But we choose again to go into the public and fight each other out there. You don't have to bring Junior down because Junior is not regulated. You don't have to bring Junior down because you don't agree with the things he said. You don't have to bring Junior down for whatever reason you're talking about. Because now you're trying to bring down things that people have built. It's not easy to be a voice that everybody listens to. And maybe again, you have to look at why people are listening to these voices that have propped up. And I implore SAFPU, use your resources, use your connections, use all of that to create places where you can educate people the way you want to educate people. George has to go and research contracts. I have to go and call everybody. I have to go and call and figure out and do this and craft a story and put it together and cut it and shoot it and edit it and do all of that stuff. You guys could do that then, if it's so wrong. You guys could help us understand some of the things. But we are so focused on tearing other things down instead of building up some of the stuff. And what's scary for creators like me is that if this goes right, what's stopping you tomorrow from deeming something I said as being wrong? And now I must apologize, and now I must be regulated, and now I must sign up to a thing, and now I must... What's stopping you? It's a very slippery slope. And how can you be the arbiter of what is good or bad, or right or wrong? Now, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be disrespect, or there should be disrespect. I'm not saying that you should be saying things as callous as you can say it so that people can just click. I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. What I'm saying is, use your energy and your resources correctly. Understand the things that they do, that we do. And if you deem it wrong, it's not for you to tell me what I need to be doing or not doing. It's for you to then show people what's right, put it into the market, and prove that that is what works. I'm hoping that this isn't a fight that's going to be on and on and on and on. And I'm hoping that Junior doesn't apologize, to be honest with you. Because it starts there. Then we find ourselves in a place where people are not watching because they're not getting that. So I implore you, I am going to myself tag a lot of people in the comments below. Abo Siwe the first. Abo Masi. I'm going to tag a lot of people below. And I'm going to end this by saying, those are the people then. Go and listen to those people. Go watch those people. Go consume their content. Go help them grow. Instead of this thing of hatefully going up against each other all the time. I hope SAFPU can find a way to reach out to people, can find a way to add value then. I hope they can find a way to create places where they can push their own stuff too. But unilaterally deciding that you're defending somebody while also simultaneously attacking the person in the same way that you deem to be wrong is not it. See you guys on the next one.